It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show.
Slow down, slow down.
Yeah,
Slow down.
J Nolan.
Slow down.
I was thrown into the fast life, past life, full of distractions like my dad's life. Till I studied another practice in this pandemic. Unemployed, looking for joy, trying to fill a void. So many spirits been destroyed, the cuss and the hustle. Till we get humble, cold world, gotta dress in bundles. Product of struggle, bag fumble. But I got off the sidelines, overviewing my guidelines. Open my mind's eye, jump to my fate, I'm screaming bonsai. Whoa, take your time, learn the lesson, realize. The moment's notice could lead us to the skies. Lies over the tube, books tell us the wrong dates and times. That's indication we should focus on family ties. It's such a crazy world. Can't nobody tell the future in the rush for that destination to show up in a stupid. It's how we maneuver. But I reckon the change coming. Whether or not we get it, I just had to say something. Yeah.
Life is too short, gotta treasure. Love yours, cause ain't nothing better. Don't believe the hype is a setup. Run your own lane, keep your head up. Slow down, slow down. Slow down, slow down. Slow down.
What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Going into the weekend, you know what I'm saying? Hope things are going well. Families intact. Money looking good. Hopefully y'all getting paid. Friday the 13th, I thought something major was going to happen today. I was really hoping that we would have got that Baby King, Kendrick Lamar feature on Friday the 13th, but I guess the boogeyman said we got to wait. God damn. Fuck it. But what I do want to get into in this video is trying to find the deeper meaning in the Fall Off by J. Cole. I know we've been talking about J. Cole for 2 weeks. Really, shit, about a month now if you count Birthday Blizzard and everything that's been going on. I know some people are tired of motherfucking J. Cole, and I get it. But it's his time right now. And we ain't got nobody else that's really doing it right now. Unless you rocking with Brent Faiyaz's album, which I've heard is getting mixed reviews. All right. So we gotta wait another week for Baby King to drop his shit. It's motherfucking J. Cole time. All right. But interestingly enough, I actually watched part of YeaImStacie's video where he says we've been listening to J. Cole's The Fall Off wrong. Now, I do know YeaImStacie is a big J. Cole fan. You know what I'm saying? Like, probably like a Ville loyalist. You know what I'm saying? I'm a J. Cole fan, but I'm not like a stan. I'm not I'm not super enthralled in J. Cole's brand, but I respect the fuck out of everything that he's been doing over the last 2 decades. I got to be honest about that. Been a fan of him since day one, but he's not like my favorite artist, right? But Stacey came out and he said, we've been listening to this album all wrong, right? And when I saw the title of it, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, damn, this is a little bit of a cult video. But I said, let me hear him out. And his video basically gives a layout of disc 29 in a way that I wasn't looking at it. I was looking at disc 29 at like, yeah, J. Cole went home at age 29. And it was, of course, 2014 Forest Hills Drive rehashed in my eyes. But I think this is more so like untold stories of that journey. 2014 Forest Hills Drive, like the darker side. Because I think him going home on that album, it was more so like a happy moment. It was a celebratory moment. It was him rebuying the old house that he had grown up in and trying to do good shit. And of course, tell the stories from back home. And of course, there was some transparency on the album, but it was really kind of like reflective of his upbringing, more so of where he was at that time. Whereas with this album, you get what was happening. And I'm gonna be honest, my interview with 910 Space made me a little bit more open to the conversation that YeaImStacie is having with this disc 29. Now, of course, he's talking about the entire album. I don't like disc 39 at all. I like 3 songs out of 12, right? But if there is a greater story to be explored, it's not gonna make me like the music anymore, but it'll help me appreciate what it was. Because I know I had a lot of critiques about some of the writing. I still have a lot of critiques about the writing on disc 39 in particular. But I do want to get into his story that he's trying to paint, because again, having a conversation with 910 Space and kind of learning what was going on in Fayetteville at the time, it does bring some of the stories on the album a little bit closer to home, right? Like, we've been focusing on Poor Thing, and he talks about Poor Thing, and a lot of people are having this conversation of whether or not it was 910 Space. Was it Tank Tyler? Again, they're all tied in together. 910 Space was a part of that situation. He actually is one of the people that diffused the Tank Tyler situation, right? Tank Tyler was an ex-NFL player. He was popping at the time. He was getting money. He felt like he was a kind of like a kingpin out in Fayetteville of sorts. He was rapping. He was getting with the street guys. He wanted a feature from Cole. Cole acted like he ain't really know him, or at least he had forgotten him. Tank Tyler like, hey, nigga, I don't like that shit. They end up figuring it out. They're supposed to do some music. He then, I guess, tries to exchange protection for the feature. J. Cole told him to eat a dick, right? Then hence, remember when we watched 910 Space's video and he said, you got into this shit because you told a man to chew dick, then you begged me to help you get you out of the shit or whatever, right? So all of this is intertwined. And it makes me think of not only that time period, but J. Cole's branding throughout his whole career, right? I told y'all his whole dichotomy with the halo and the demon horns or whatever, which is basically like showing the good and evil, the good and the bad, which a lot of people are focused on the bad. A lot of people are focused on, oh, he don't uphold all his word, blah, 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 blah. And I think that creates a one-sided side of the story. But I think J. Cole has helped a lot of people. He's fucked with a lot of people. He's put money in a lot of people's pockets, changed the trajectory of a lot of people's lives. So again, it's that angel devil thing, right? Because to some people, you may be the angel. You may be the source of great things happening. But for others who may have gotten left behind or perhaps forgotten, or we just fell out because, hey, everybody can't go, or whatever the case is, he could be seen as a demon or a devil or like a nigga that was fucked up. And again, I feel like anybody that we see at a certain level, especially in entertainment, music, film, anybody that's like majorly influential, you're going to have those stories on both sides. You're going to have the people that would fucking they would run across the road in front of a moving car for you. And you're going to have some people that going to be in that moving car ready to hit your stupid ass. You know what I'm saying? It's just part of life. And to only look at it from one side, I think is a little bit, kind of off base. That's all I'll say, right? I know everybody's looking at like the Cameron thing. Everybody's looking at the 910 Space thing or whoever. And through those lenses, I can understand. But again, there's so many other people. So let me go ahead and pull this nigga video up because I'm here talking for 10 minutes and I wasn't planning on that. You know what I mean? But here we go.
The fall off is not only inevitable, it is also intentional. And that's the reason why Jermaine killed J. Cole. Oh man, so listen man, I've been living with this album. It is fire, and I'm ready to give you guys a full breakdown, a full review, so you understand what the hell is going on, bro. Trust me, you at the right spot. Smash the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and turn on the noti bell so you never miss a goddamn thing, bro. And I'm not gonna hold y'all, I rate this album a 96 so far. Out of 100, I rate this thing a 96, bro, and the reason being,
96. Wow. I get a nigga a 72, 75. This is not in the upper tier of J. Cole's discography. It would have been if disc 39 would have been the 3 songs that I liked. And then we would have ended it off at 15. It would have been very solid. But 96 is fucking egregious. But I'm watching your shit.
is because this is a beautiful story about how J. Cole almost got Jermaine ass killed, basically. And that's what this shit about, man. J. Cole was wilding the fuck out, or that persona was taking over this man's life and just ruining him from inside out. J. Cole displays lyricism at an all-time high. He stamps himself as the best lyricist of this generation by storytelling and also taking.
God damn, you gonna make it hard for me to get through this. The best lyricist of this generation? Oh, man. Let me get to the story. Because, damn. All right. Act like that didn't happen.
So the album starts off with the intro, you feel me? You have the James Teller sample blasting in the background while folks just vibing, kicking it. And then the next thing you know, the folks hear somebody creeping and somebody pulling up and letting off shots. Shit's going down in the town. We are in the Ville. We come into 26. 26 represents Cumberland County, okay? That's the number code for that county. So this song right here is just J. Cole using his lyrical ability to paint a picture of how shit is in the Ville. A world builder that also leaves some little cliffhangers for the album. But a line from me in 26 that pushes the narrative forward is outcast, but I was never cast out. I'm a small fish from a pond where they crash out. Saying niggas be with the shits, I just don't be with the shits with them niggas. But they still my dogs though. But in the song you still can understand the bravado, you feel me? Stating that he's not humble, he's bougie as hell and all this extra shit. But a big teaser for the theme of the album comes towards the end of the song when he says, be careful of the devil in the melodies you hum, smiling, going viral while affecting all of the young. I was lost back then, I was blind, deaf and dumb, but I knew I'd find my way. Fell off and fell on my face, but I knew I'd find my way though. Hold on tight, let's keep this thing pushing. So the next track on the album is Safety, which is a very unique way of world building as he uses his homie writing him a letter and telling him what's going on in the city, telling different stories about old chicks that stood the test of time, you know, still bad and shit, using lingo like bold type shit, you know, things that people do in Fayetteville, letting you know what's going on. But while doing that, he's also telling J. Cole, listen, I get it, I'm your boy, you do enough for me, I'm not gonna burden you, although it's some folks dissing you, talking shit that's jealous. Hold on tight for that. But the third verse is used to also push the narrative forward as his homie tells him about an old friend that passed away from HIV/AIDS, okay? And while doing so, he asks him to come back home to a funeral. Now, at the end of this song, you can hear Cole getting into a car. He obliges, and he comes back home to Fayetteville. By the way, that song hard as hell. I'm trying not to continue telling you every single song hard as hell because almost every damn song hard as hell to me, but I'm trying to tell you the story. So the next track is Run a Train that features Future. Run a Train is amazing. I love this goddamn song. Damn, my bad. I said I wasn't gonna do that. But on Run a Train, this song right here, I think any nigga that made it out of the hood or left the hood to go ahead and try to be better, but then has to come back for whatever reason, knows how I feel when you come and you see the niggas hanging out at the corner store, you see all these different things like, damn, this shit is horrible over here. What the fuck I'm even doing over here? And at one point in time, I thought this shit was normal. That's how Cole is feeling on Run a Train as he's self-reflecting, being back home after his friend asked him to pull back up. And at this point in time, he's also reflecting on him as a rapper, thinking like, I felt like I could change my home by rapping a certain way and that will bring peace. But then this perfect bar was so dope when you put things in perspective. I choose my homies wisely, seen too many die from friends beef. Big dreams to change the world back when I ride a 10 speed. Youthful delusion thinking through music I could end grief when too many bodies get piled up in these rivals' histories. So stopping this violence is like bringing the guys a strip piece. And that's how you feel at some point in time. You come back home and you see what's going on. You look at niggas like a lost cause. But you also understand it based on the history of shit that's going on. But that's the perspective that he's viewing the Ville at this point in time and age. But this bar at the end of the first verse right here is so damn dope because once again paints a picture as far as where we heading. And his mentality says, Vietnam, you my heart. But at the same time, if I'm being honest, I can feel that flame dying. So what I'm getting from this perspective, his pride and ego low-key makes him feel like he's better than the city, or based on what's going on in the city, he's low-key ashamed and hurting for the people. Either one of those two things.
Definitely, I wouldn't say ashamed. I would say, yo, you my heart. You know what I mean? But the flame is dying, as in I'm falling out of love with the city. Because whenever I come back, it's always some bullshit. I think that's what it is. You know what I mean? It's always some bullshit. Like I have this this vision of what Fayetteville is, because let's be serious, J. Cole got the fuck up out of there at 18, went to New York, pursuing education and pursuing his dreams of becoming a rapper, a professional rapper that is, and he felt like he was gonna have to go to New York to do it. So from that point forward, he's assimilating to what's going on in New York. He's got fond memories of Fayetteville because that's where he grew up, got homies back there, and perhaps one day dreams of making things better down there. But then every time J. Cole comes back, it's always some shit, i.e. the conversation that I had with 910 Space, somebody who was around since 2006, since opening the door for him at Baseline. They became cool. He's putting together events for Cole. We're talking about the warm-up mixtape release party. We're talking about Sideline Story debut album release party in Fayetteville. He's playing a role in coordinating that, you know, and keeping relationships active in the city, from the comeback, chill spots, et cetera, et cetera. And listening to that conversation that we had, every time he came back to Fayetteville, he was kind of moving out of order. So his ego, and that's something that YeaImStacie talks about a lot in this video, is he's getting on, he's becoming J. Cole, right? Used to be the therapist, changed his name to J. Cole, and now he's starting to believe who this J. Cole character is. Sniffing his own motherfucking, you know what I mean? Smelling himself, like they say. So if that's what's going on, and every time he comes back home, it's something, I can see why it's like the flame is dying for the city, because it's downtrodden. Niggas ain't on shit. Niggas on the same old shit that they was on when I left. Niggas ain't growing in no area except maybe they beards. You know what I'm saying? And more kids. I really don't know what the fuck I'm doing down here. So that's how I interpret it.
But his love for what's going on back home is becoming fractured. And that also may play into the feelings he gets when it comes to certain people and their expectations or their perception of him. And that moves us towards the song Poor Thing. Now, Poor Thing is another energy spike, a gym killer. And what J. Cole does on these songs that's purpose for great on playlists, purpose for the gym, car ride, speakers knocking, he also finds a way to deliver great lyrical performances. Like Poor Thing came in as like possibly the best verse on the album so far. But this song also does a great job as far as continuing this story that Cole's telling. The importance of this song is to showcase his ego, his pride, his sense of validation, all these different things that he's wrestling with at this age. And that pride has him pissed off at this nigga that's back at home that's trying to ruin the image that he created. So at the end of the song, this nigga's ready to crash out. But he's still smart though. He ain't trying to die and shit, but he's trying to go ahead and fade, catch a fade with this random local rapper. This shit's bothering him that much. Because how dare you? How dare you try to play up my name like that, punk bitch? A million times. You called a nigga a punk bitch 1,000,001 times. And I enjoyed every single second of that shit. He could have did it one more time and I would have been perfectly fine. I'm trying to tell you. But amazing song. But this right here continues to paint a picture of Cole's personality at 29. J. Cole is here and he's controlling this man's life, controlling his emotions, controlling how he moves, because he has to preserve this image of J. Cole, this moniker of J. Cole. But Jermaine's still there though. Jermaine's still there. So as pieces are falling into place, as far as money, career, Jermaine starts to think about legacy.
Now let me stop there, right? Because it's a very good chance he was talking about Tank Tyler, right? But whoever he's talking about, I think the bars on that song, we hear the words punk bitch and all of this different shit. So it's like, oh, J. Cole is putting out a diss. I think a lot of us heard this song and treated it like it's a current day diss record, right? And it's like, damn, who's he talking to? Which we have been exploring that for the last week. But now that I know a little bit more information about J. Cole's relationship with Fayetteville, which I don't know the full extent, but just having a little bit of context on the ground, seeing how people feel about him, seeing how certain people feel about him back home, not everybody, because of course he went out there and it's all love and it happens every time. But it seems to me that that so-called diss is really just him poking his chest out. You know what I'm saying? It's not, because some people are like, oh, look at J. Cole dissing a dude from the town, some nigga we don't know. He's a bully. He's a this. He's a that. And if you feel that way, you're well within your rights. But now I'm interpreting this as, let me take you into the mindset of what I was doing, how I was moving. I was moving sloppy. And that's this kind of the story of this disc one is Cole gets invited back to the crib to go to this funeral. He stays a while, and during that stay, he gets himself in some shit for thinking that he is this J. Cole nigga. But back home, nigga, we know you as Jermaine. We know you as, a pretty average nigga. You had an average game at basketball. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't no thug. You wasn't no gangster, right? So just remember, we know you. Them other niggas can attest to who you think you've become. But when you come back around these parts, just remember, you's a little homie. No matter how much money you got, right? But he was in his motherfucking feelings and feeling like, nigga, fuck that. Bitch, I'm the one putting on for this shit. I'm the king of motherfucking Vietnam, nigga. How y'all gonna talk to me like that? And he lashes out. And then we see how the story unfolds later on in the album. So although it could be perceived as a diss, I think it's really giving us context clues as to how he started feeling himself a little bit too much, and niggas back around the way just wasn't having it, but he had to verbalize it in the album, and he put us into that space in order to paint the picture. So I don't think it's a diss record at all. It's really just letting niggas know like how he was presenting himself at that time. Like, nigga, anybody could get it. And then he found out that anybody also included himself.
And all men know, for your legacy to really carry on, you need a good woman. And that brings us to this song right here, Legacy Track 6, which is one of the most beautiful sonic compositions on this album. This shit is so perfect. The vocals, the lyrics, the delivery, like the production. This is an amazing song right here. But in the song, you really hear Jermaine come out and reflect as far as balancing between enjoying his fame, enjoying his attention, but still trying to reach out. At the end of Poor Things, he was trying to call a girl, and that girl turns out to be his now wife. So in this track, it's very self-critical and realistic, but it's kind of like, manipulation at the same damn time. He's establishing to this woman that he wants her, but he's not finished living his life and enjoying the fruits of his labor. But he's still blowing her up, still texting her and all that good shit. I'm texting you. Hey, boy, this album fire, but let me stay focused. One lyric that stands out that we're gonna come back to is where he says this right here. He himself is also scared to commit, saying, I done spent so long playing games and holding back from giving all of me, too scared that I won't get it back, okay? That's a very important bar right there. The relevance will come back up later in the album. But okay, we move on to the next song, Bunch Road Blues, featuring.
So when I look at this album and the way that YeaImStacie is presenting it, I'm not gonna lie. This puts me in the mindset of J. Cole presenting his version of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. And I know the J. Cole fans out there are gonna be like, fuck! Why would you say that? Right? And I'm not looking at it strictly from the standpoint of, oh, it's a double disc, it's gotta be influenced by that. But when I listen to the outline of this album, and you look at the outline of Mr. Morale, the first half of that album is taking you back to Kendrick, Good Kid, Mad City. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's telling us back from Good Kid, Mad City days, going out, experiencing the world, being confronted with all of the things he ever wanted, including a fucking charcuterie board of women, and falling into sex addiction. You know what I'm saying? And one of those hidden pleasures becoming white women, right? But he got his girl back home, and he's embarrassing her. You know what I'm saying? And they going in and out in that weave of, are they still together? Are they not? Are they on break? How do you even break that down? And it looks like as Kendrick was experiencing those things early on, J. Cole was as well, which I think most rappers that get on in their early 20s, like, who wouldn't go through that, right? But again, this album is about not necessarily, I guess this is the fall off of J. Cole and the reemergence of Jermaine the Man, right? So if you go back to Mr. Morale, you have the therapy sessions, and they're talking about the pain body and, you know, regulating your emotions and growing and all of this different type of stuff. I feel like a lot of the content on this particular album, it's I don't want to say diet version of what Kendrick gave us, but I kind of have to, because I still feel like Kendrick delved so much deeper. And I'm not even the Kendrick versus J. Cole nigga, y'all know that. But I feel like he just delved so much deeper into the content of what was going on at that time and putting himself on display in uncomfortable ways. But even when you look at the Auntie Diaries and then the that verse in Safety about their gay friend who ended up passing away, there's some parallels, right? So yeah, gotta be honest, and we already know that J. Cole is heavily inspired by Kendrick Lamar. We already know For Your Eyes Only was kind of like inspired by the content on To Pimp a Butterfly. We know for sure because with KOD, J. Cole told the world how inspired he was coming off of seeing Kendrick performing Damn on the road and seeing how the crowd interacted with that music. He wanted to have something like that for himself. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there also should be nothing wrong with us pointing it out if he also did himself, right? But we'll continue. And it just shows that despite the beef or despite whatever people want to call it, he's still inspired by Kendrick. It's funny that the album that he shitted on in the battle, trying to use Public Opinion, was the one that influenced this album, at least thematically.
Future and Tim's. This song right here so fucking dope. But Cole getting ready to pop out and go to the club, alright? He trying to check the temperature to see what's going on in the streets, you feel me? But the main thing still the main thing, so he's still low-key in communication while he's still out here. Y'all know when you going out with your homies, but you know you got that one little chick you talking to, but you still out there trying to fit, you know, trying to go and see what's going on, trying to see what's going on. But that's what Cole is doing. But here we go to probably the most important bar of this song. To many people, Bunch Road Blues is just a vibe, but this is a conceptual anchor for the album. He says, I've been leaving a trail. You play all my albums and you find you a letter revealed. This is a suicide note. Come here. Look what I wrote. I'm about to kill myself. Fuck J. Cole. I don't even want this role. Want to rebuild myself. tuck my pole under the driver's seat. Nigga, don't try to reach. I bust a hole right in your frontal lobe. That's a lobotomy. What does that mean? This nigga in deep thought, sliding about to go ahead and pop out with the homies. But he's still reflecting, you know, the chick that he knows that he needs to be with, he's scared that he may be losing her. He texting her, calling her, she ain't picking up the fucking phone. So now he's mad at himself for pushing her away, mainly because he let this J. Cole character go too fucking far and it's affecting his personal life. So he wants to murk this nigga, alright? And a lobotomy changes your personality, removes aggressiveness, removes ego. But nevertheless, fucker, we ball. We outside. We get to him and Tim's part. Tim's represents his now wife. And her and J. Cole are having a conversation. And J. Cole's asking her, will you be around when I'm ready? But at the same damn time, manipulation. I'd rather you go and be happy, but I don't want to leave you alone. Tim's responds and says, I might be gone when you're ready. I should move on and be happy, but I don't want to leave you alone. You feel me? But then she tells J. Cole, how many ways must I profess? Gunshot to your head, die for me. All right, so he has to kill that version of himself or his relationship with that version of himself for her to feel comfortable existing in his life as his wife. But she still lets him know, I'm handcuffed, I'm roped in. She locked in with that boy regardless though. But let's keep this thing pushing. So the next song, Who the Fuck Is You? J. Cole done pulled up to the club and he popping his shit, nigga. Who the fuck is you? Who the fuck is you, nigga? Who the fuck is you? He walking around mugging niggas, you feel me? Cause he with the gang. He outside. He got his boys, so he bit vibing and posturing. He's back home and he wants to see how it feels. He wants to feel that attention. He wants to be seen. He done made it out. You already know how he feel about the Ville at this point in time in his life. He feels like he's bigger than this shit. But he wants to come back home and flex the muscles from the fame that he's attained. So once again, it goes without being saying how well J. Cole raps. He slaughters this song. Once again, his ability to take a song that can be a club song, that can be a gym song, an energy song, and just lyrically dice that bitch up, as well as his homage to Eminem on his third verse. He caught that flow, that pocket that M uses. But let's continue talking about his story, all right? So drum and bass, man. Drum and bass is Cole's take at lyrical trap music, man. The production is amazing, one of my favorites. This song right here is a stank face haven. I love this shit. But there are some lyrics in the song that pushes the narrative further, especially in the chorus where he says, bitch, I'm outside with the apes. Fuck you talking about? Tell me what sense do it make coming back when you escape? So he know he's not supposed to be in that goddamn club. But yeah, he ended up with them YNs, and the way he talk about these YNs and this verse right here is so nasty. Turning to the Lord is ironic at a time when these young niggas so violent, they'll let off at God in the flesh. You in the club with these niggas? What is you doing? Nevertheless, he big vibing, and not only is he big vibing, this nigga's trying to parking lot pimp. But once again, this is J. Cole moving in the worst interest of Jermaine Cole. In the raps, you can see that he's testing his fame. More evidence of his ego. He talks about survivor's remorse as well, but then you see them lust demons take over. He leaves himself vulnerable to vultures. So at the end of the song, you hear a little skit of him talking to a chick outside, you feel me? And a nigga trying to talk to him. J. Cole curving buddy. He curved him saying like, bro, you see me talking to the chick, I'll come fuck with you after that. But he felt away. He said, I bet. He gonna see. Cole gonna see. So that leads us to the next song, The Let Out. Now the Let Out is crazy. It's like a Western song, you feel me? It's like a vibe.
And as much as people are trying to make The Let Out one of the standouts of the album, it is the Let Down on disc 1 or disc 29 for me personally. I gotta say, no matter how much people hype it, it don't do nothing for me.
I've been setting the scene like some shit about to go down, a standoff about to go down, a Mexican standoff is about to go down, guns gonna be drawn and all that shit. But it's a perfect vibe to paint the picture of something that many of us that come from places that I came from have experienced, leaving a club when it becomes the most dangerous. But in J. Cole's situation, he's an actual target because he fits the description of a nigga that a vulture want to go ahead and devour, you feel me? So he painting the picture with a Bone Thugs flow. This shit is crazy. It had to grow in a lot of people, but it's a vibe though. Someone put him on game like, hey bro, what the hell you even doing here with no security? These niggas plotting on you. So Cole trying to rush to the car. The same chick he was trying to talk to still trying to key and shit. Bitch, move. These niggas trying to kill me. Cole, he didn't say all that, but that's the vibe he got. Like, bro,
even looking at these lyrics on the screen over here, it reminds me of once again of the conversation that I was having with 910 Space, right? Because look at the lyrics. It says he was about my age with a face that displayed he was genuine. Be safe, he said. Heard niggas who was loud in the hallway. By the bathroom door, they was plotting on you and your compadre. So I sobered up quick with a heightened sense of fear in me. What the fuck you doing in the Ville with no security? And who was he coming down in the Ville fucking with? Niggas like Space. You know what I'm saying? Not security. Just the homies from back around the way. But shit, nigga, these niggas around the way that want to put your ass on a t-shirt for all that popping you been doing. Yeah, they say they love you, but trust, that don't mean anything. Somebody gonna hate you for what? It could be anything. The way that you walk, you talk, the way that you rap, you know, the way that you put on the Ville, but you barely come back no more. My radar is up. I noticed this dude with his hat real low. The vibe is negative. I'm telling Shouted, we gotta go. And at the same moment, I swear that the lights came on. The DJ was yelling some shit on the microphone. Right? And we know there's multiple instances of 910 Space saying that he had to get or help him get out of some shit in the Ville. Some people feel like he's capping. I don't necessarily feel like he's capping because I seen the screenshots of this nigga's footage on his IG page. That nigga got hella footage of Cole. Like house footage, not just out in the club, but he say he got all the shit when them niggas was supposed to be doing a album release or a mixtape release party, and Cole switched the location on the nigga the last minute. You switched the location on the nigga you booked the club with at the last minute, but then you go to that very club and pass out your flyers telling people to go to the next spot. You talking about moving sloppy? And he say he has footage of that whole scenario of when the club owner, who was, you know, a reputable person in the city, not for nothing positive, I guess, when that shit popped off. So for the people that's like, oh, you did that interview with 910 Space and it's the wrong person, or it was a pointless interview, it absolutely was not, because it actually gives us some feet on the ground to even look at this album within a different context, because he's rapping about the shit that we talked about. So there you go.
We got to go. Next thing you know, shots are for sure let the fuck off. J. Cole almost got this nigga Jermaine Cole smoked. Smoked by leading with ego, leading with pride, leading with the thirst for attention, thirst for validation. If you go back to the song previously, talking about how a chick you probably couldn't get before would not fuck with you because you're known as one of the best rappers in the game. So yeah, that boy almost got his ass killed. Which brings us to Bombs in the Ville, where J. Cole got his ass scared straight. This nigga got his ass scared straight, bro. Because he almost got his ass murked. Well, J. Cole almost got Jermaine murked. He almost killed the whole body. So now you talking about ads and smoke clears and shit. You is who I find. You being his now wife. So now you talking about let's run away and all this shit. But then the song transitioned into Hit the Gas, and Hit the Gas is a very reflective song and a nasty beat though, a nasty beat. One, I love the vocal performance on Bombs in the Ville. Hit the Gas is a nice ass vibes too. I'm seeing the ladies do their little dance, you feel me? He's sampling Ludacris, What's Your Fantasy? But he also says very important things in these lyrics. He tells this lady, man, sure glad I ran back into you. I was scared you find somebody new. Ran off and had a child or two. Shit, I know I said I wasn't gonna change, but shit, you gotta look carried away. You gotta look carried away. But then comes the second half of Hit the Gas, the last verse where he really slows down and reflects. The movie's ending at this point in time. The movie ends with him getting a iPhone that travels through time, and he's able to talk to his younger self. And as his younger self sees him, his younger self immediately cries because it's like, damn, bruh, shit crazy right now. I think I've been fucking up. He tells his younger self, you good. Everything you're going through is necessary because that's your path. Fame is a drug that you were chosen to take. Unfortunately, you can't be sober and great. That's amazing right there. He also shows his sons to validate, you know, that he's going in the right direction. So just continue to live. You'll figure it out. Enjoy the movie. watch the movie. He talks about falling off and how it's just a part of the game, you have to embrace it. But that version of Cole at the point in time in his life at 29 years old was very edgy, egotistical, ready for conflict, doing all he can to maintain the image of J. Cole and also trying his best to benefit from the image of J. Cole that was created. And it almost cost him his damn life and his wife at the same damn time. But what's also important to point out is his relationship with North Carolina, Fayetteville. He looks at it at a point in time as very dangerous and only has a few purposes in his life to feed his ego with validation, okay? Now, his Lonely at the Top is really outside of the story, somewhat like an intermission. It may.
All right, so now he's transitioning into disc 39, and that's where we get J. Cole kind of coming back to the Ville at age 39, which was, of course, 2024. He just turned 41 a couple weeks ago. And that's also after the battle, after everything that transpired. So that's where we get songs like What If, reflecting on Pac and Biggie, which we all know is, you know, a sanitized way of looking at the battle that took place in 2024, right? Wishing that everybody could piece it up and apologize. I think he's looking at Drake and Kendrick, wishing that they could apologize because he wants things to go back to the way they were pre-beef. Big three. Everybody doing their shit. You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, the way that the tables have turned, we'll never get that again. Not the way it was. Everybody is at peace moving forward, but are they really at peace? Right? Not really. The game is fractured. The fans are fractured, and the men themselves are in a different space. Kendrick is cool because he like shit. I'm the king. I proved myself to be the nigga I said I was. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeding my fans. I'm feeding my family. I'm having a historic run. Come get some. You know what I'm saying? He Craig after beating Debo. You feel me? Drake, on the other hand, is defeated. He's deflated. He's crying in every damn song, but trying to make it seem like he's on the offensive. You know what I'm saying? But every song that he's put out or sampled since solo song that will be, since the battle has been, I don't trust nobody. Look at how niggas treated me. Look at how everybody turned their back on me. I helped all these people. Now look at where we at. That's all that nigga is consumed with is, God damn, I got destroyed in front of the world and none of the people that I've helped out came to my defense. Rather than looking at himself and saying, damn, how was I not prepared to defend myself? And Cole, on the other hand, is, you know, he's reaping the benefits of his work, the fruits of his labor. His fan base is still very much intact. New album out. His fans love it. They're calling it a classic. I strongly disagree. But he still looks like J. Cole. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going out, talking to the fans, getting active, doing the CD tour. Looks like they're gonna be ending the CD tour because these niggas is 40 and they fucking exhausted. Them niggas was out here running from city to city for the last week and some change. Or I won't, yeah, damn. Cause they started on what, Saturday or Sunday? And they just stopped last night. So they've been on the road for a week straight, just going from fucking North Carolina, Atlanta, Virginia, Maryland, Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? I think they made their way up to New York last night. Rest in peace to Shanae Curry. I believe they're gonna stop doing, you know, pay some homage to her. Somebody who's been very deep into the trenches in the industry and stuff like that. I didn't personally know her, but I did know of her for a very long time. Coming from the blog era, she was a part of that era. She went on to do some really dope stuff in the industry, working with artists and doing events and all that good stuff. So she's very well connected, and unfortunately, she just passed. But all that being stated, he's still reflecting on like where he's at, where everything ended up. And we could tell even by Birthday Blizzard that J. Cole is very much acknowledging, you know, okay, I played myself out of my spot, but I still want to show y'all how I get busy. But you could tell that it's weighing on him that he played himself out of his spot. He doesn't seem completely at peace with it, although he is happy that he's still able to get out here and be active and still be accepted, as he should be. Now, if you want to see the rest of that video, go on YeaImStacie's page. He dropped it, I believe, yesterday. I'm not so much interested in disc 39 because it ain't enough description given that's gonna make me appreciate those fucking songs, those interpolations, and them lazy ass hooks. That's just me though. So if you want to get that full scoop, go check his out. But I did appreciate his work going into disc 29 and giving us a little bit more context clues as to what it was that J. Cole was trying to convey. I think he could have done a little bit better of a job of, you know, creating chapters within the music. Again, something that Kendrick does very well with his interludes, his skits, and just the way he weaves in and out of his music artistically and creatively. J. Cole, on the other hand, it presents a little bit clunky, you know what I mean, in terms of like trying to follow the story. The album, disc 29, plays well. It's good music. I enjoy it. But I didn't get all of the nuggets that he was putting in there because it did feel like just a standard rap album and rehashing Forest Hills all over again. But now I kind of see it through a different lens. Okay? That's what I got for y'all on this one. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one though. Peace.
Family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'm never politicking, the drama be piling on. Father and greats unacknowledged like I'm Bobby Bonds. Conversation with my lady about the paper route. 5 sit bank accounts, every day I make it count. They down talking my commentary for hating now. Well, I can take it cause I'm bodying your favorite now, please. I could do this shit in my sleep. I been writing for these niggas, y'all read it and weep. I been fighting these niggas if you speak on the street. I'll turn your birthday party into New Year's Eve. Don't let me take it there. We ain't playing fair. This the ATL, Southside nigga moving furniture like Wayfair. Life on hold, no insurance for your healthcare. Lifeline gone, so you wanna be a millionaire? Well, let me tell you about this world I built. The women I dodged, the niggas that I ran for filth. The sympathy calls, consulting for the stacks I built.